What's up everybody, how you guys doing? Welcome to the Ride Dad channel. If you don't know who I am, my name's Chris. This is my 2020 Harley Davidson Lowrider S. And today I'm going to be taking off this shift linkage that I showed you guys how to install a little bit ago. I'll link that up here. And replacing it with this from Greene Brothers.
Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a
Alright, so if you watch the other videos or if you just clicked them, again, I did do the install video on this, and then I actually, like 2 weeks after, once I had a little bit of time to dive more into it and everything, I posted a video on why I would not recommend this alloy art shift linkage, the MCL, for an M8 Softail platform. Instead, I said that I ordered this shift linkage specifically made for an M8 platform from Greene Brothers. There's a couple differences from this. We'll get into it. If you didn't watch that video as I'm installing it, I'll explain them. But immediately you can see that the color difference is a little bit different. You got stainless on the ends and the nuts, as this is all black except for the little inserts. So in the package you got the actual linkage, you got a little bit of instructions, you got a 6 sticker for the collection, and the other cool thing is that this one again comes with ARP bolts, which are very good, but these are blacked out ARP bolts. These are not. Okay, so in the directions, I read them ahead of time, so I'll spare you me reading them 1 through 10 kind of thing. Basically says that on the actual shift linkage, there's going to be one side of the nut that has either some sort of etching in it or like a red dot or something like that. And I don't know if this is like part specific, but for mine, which is obviously the M8 model, it's got a little cuts right at every edge of the actual nut. So it says the side that has those little indents or the red on it is going to be the side that is towards your transmission. So they want you to install that one towards the rear, and then the front one's going to be for your actual linkage, like your control arm. They also say to make sure that you use blue Loctites on only the pieces that actually hold it, not on the actual linkage. So the first step is going to be to remove this guy, and then we'll go ahead and put the Greene Brothers on. Alright, so the first step is going to be to uninstall this alloy art one that I previously have on here, and this takes 3/8 size for the ARP bolts, so we'll go ahead and get this uninstalled. Alright, let's take a minute to compare the two. This is the alloy art I previously had installed, and this is the new Greene Brothers. You can see that the Greene Brothers is considerably shorter than the alloy art, even with a little bit of space extended on one side, and that is mostly because it's specific for an M8 platform. If you watch my do not buy alloy art video, basically because this is not necessarily designed with an M8 in mind, this is longer than it should be, and because this is shorter, it'll allow you more adjustability for your shift arm. So because this is longer, you lose adjustability, because the longer you get, the more close you become to hitting your primary case, and you can't adjust it any, and you're really just kind of locked into its bare minimum. You can also see obviously the black on the sides and the nuts as well. They have a bunch of different colors for the Greene Brothers and a few different colors for the alloy art as well. Just initial kind of opinion, you can tell that this is a lot more free floating than the Greene Brothers. The Greene Brothers, while it is extremely smooth still and feels very solid and well built, it feels almost like it's either a tighter tolerance or like there's grease or something. It's a very smooth feel, but it's just a thick feel, if that makes sense. The other thing Greene Brothers in the direction says to be careful about is to make sure not to scratch the black finish. They caution you a bunch either to use a rag or like any kind of tape or something like that while you're adjusting this over to keep the wrench on like the mid part and everything like that, just to make sure that this black doesn't scratch, because supposedly scratches pretty easy, and a couple people that I know that have installed it themselves also agree that it scratches easy. So we want to keep this looking as new as possible for as long as possible. I'm going to take every precaution that I can think of and really try to baby this on the way in, that way it looks really well done. Again, remember that red coloring or notches on the nut side means that's the side that goes towards the rear on the actual transmission side. So we're going to install this and start adjusting. So the really nice thing about the Greene Brothers that's different from the Alloy Art and some other manufacturers is that this middle piece, when you turn it, you can see I'm turning it one way and it's extending both sides instead of tightening one and loosening the other. Which means once this is on, you never have to remove those ARP bolts again when you're gonna adjust it. So now what I'm gonna do is start with this all the way pressed in, get my riding boot on, go ahead and figure out the sweet spot for that shifter arm, adjust this, tighten down these nuts on here using that tissue method again. It actually worked really good for this. It didn't have too much of a tolerance issue because the tissue was too thin, but it was soft and squishy enough that I think it prohibited any scratching from happening. So let's go ahead and adjust this. Alright, so once you got everything adjusted, you'll need to, one by one, tighten these nuts into the center to lock your adjustment in. So what I'm going to do is start with the back one first, and it turns to the left to counterclockwise. So you'll make sure that this piece is all the way to the left, and just start tightening it up there until it gets somewhat finger tight. Then you'll do this one. Alright, once you got them finger tight, this is the part that's probably going to be the easiest to scratch. So I've got some blue shop towels I'm going to put around the center with an adjustable wrench. And then these side nuts are going to require a 1/2, and I'm going to use a tissue again because that seemed to work pretty good the first time. I don't see any scratches, just some pieces where the tissue kind of clung to it, so hopefully we'll be okay. Let's go ahead and do the other side now. No scratches there either. And it's all locked in. Make sure that these go both ways. Actually, I think I did possibly scratch a little bit. Nothing, smidge of black nail polish can't touch up if it's not just some tissue being stuck to the edge. But make sure these both are the same. Make sure that it's able to shift fully up and down with nothing touching or blocking it. And there you go. So I think it looks a lot better than stock for sure, and actually looks a lot better than the one from Alloy Art. The black ARP hardware is a really nice touch. The all black linkage is a nice touch. Everything goes well with the bike, and it's just a quality piece. Again, it's a shift linkage. I'm probably not gonna realize any actual felt difference with it. It feels solid, it feels smooth. There's already a decent amount of play in the Harley transmission anyway, most transmissions, just because of how they are and how many moving parts are in it. So you're really probably not going to notice a difference. Now, longevity-wise, maybe. Greene Brothers states in their instructions to make sure, you know, periodically, just like pretty much everything on your bike, you should be checking. Make sure where the metal comes in contact with metal on these little like bushing areas, that they're oiled up periodically, and then just make sure that none of your bolts lose tightness, and that they're always tightened for whatever you have it set as. But I'll let you guys know longevity wise if I like it or not. This was the install video. If you watched it all the way through, I appreciate it very much. Please do not forget to subscribe, turn on the post notifications. I do install videos, I do some riding videos, some reviews, a little bit of kind of everything. So don't forget to check out my Instagram, and if you like this video, hit the like button. Until next time guys, ride safe, have fun. Dad out.